Hey everybody. So, first off, this is a terrible follow up to the previous video I did, but I feel like it's necessary that this video gets made because I just didn't really know how else to go about putting this out into the world so that it could be seen by all the people that need to see it. And this video is primarily geared towards the students I've had over the years. Um, Yesterday was, as I found out after I got there, my last day working at my job at the School of Rock franchise that was near where my town is. Um, you know, it was a situation that wasn't handled very maturely. I tried to do my part by putting in my 2 weeks notice and doing things in a way where I made it clear that I didn't want to leave anyone hanging, so I was willing to do whatever I needed to do in order to facilitate a smooth transition going into new show seasons and whatnot. Make sure that everyone knows what's going on before making an abrupt change. Unfortunately, when you work for people that feel they need to take a personal hit from you deciding you want to move on and do something different with your life rather than work for their company. Um, when you're dealing with that sort of thing, what happens is that people act out rather than properly addressing the situation so that everyone involved comes out of it feeling okay. And for me personally, I came out of the situation initially hurt because it was the equivalent of being a kid told by their parents abruptly that you're moving. And today you have to say goodbye to whoever you can, and whoever you miss, that's it, because we're leaving. Um, but in the time between being sort of notified, I had to find out for myself, honestly. Finding out and putting out into the world that I was going to be leaving, that it was going to be my last day yesterday, I've been offered employment opportunities at other places that offer music lessons. And, it's really nice to see that that's the outcome, the response that came from me not working at this other place any longer. To be in demand, it makes me think that it leads me to believe that I'm doing something right. I worked at the school for almost 10 years. The school I was at moved location at one point, but throughout that time, I've been a guitar teacher over there, teaching bass as well, and, running group lessons, directing shows, doing a lot of stuff. And in the more recent years, things have kind of gone off the rails with the school and management, ownership, and there's been a real push to sort of get the older staff out. Because when you work at a facility like that for a long time, the issue you run into is that people start asking for more money. I I spent many, many years working for the school, almost 10 years. And I met a lot of kids during that time and, you know, taught a lot of lessons during that time. And it's been a wonderful experience meeting young people, being able to watch them personally scope their musical interests, their musical direction they want to go in terms of the instrument that they're approaching, and just seeing where they go with their individual journey within music. It's been really awesome to see it happen on a number of occasions. And right now, as I talk to you, I'm literally sitting here amongst a pile of stuff that I brought home with me from work yesterday of just Christmas and birthday cards and, just like show flyers, pamphlets from shows. And to see it all in this pile here now it's it's really putting into perspective the amount of time that I spent with these young people, with these families, and at this job. And for every negative that came along with the job from the managerial side of things, it was usually outweighed by the positives that came from me doing my actual job of teaching. Um, so I don't want to talk about the negatives today. Today, I want to put out a personal thank you to all the kids that I got to teach over the years.
This is what you guys are doing instead of learning my songs?
Because you guys have offered me the opportunity to not only see life from different perspectives, but to also watch you grow into the amazing young adults that you are today. Some of you are still young and you're still learning, and that's still great, and you should keep doing everything that you're doing. But some of you have gone off and you've gotten jobs working for record labels. You've started your own bands. You're doing all these big things. And to be able to witness this stuff happen, starting from these very humble beginnings up to where you are now, it's been a joy. It's been a real honest joy. And I'm truly honored that I got to have the opportunity to play any sort of role in your lives, have any sort of influence on your upbringing, your musical tastes, just your ambitions towards what you want to do with your future. It's it's been, oh boy, it's been quite a journey, and I feel really privileged that I got to be a part of it. And I hope that you guys do everything that you seek out to do with your lives. I hope that all your dreams come true, and I know that they will, because you're going to push as hard as you can to make them happen. Oh my God. Uh, I I don't want to talk about it too much, but to offer an explanation in regards to why I was leaving in the first place, um, it's simply just because I wasn't feeling welcomed in the environment that I was coming into every day to go to work. And I know that a lot of you are already aware of the situation for what it was, because you have eyes, you have ears, you see what's going on in the school. But I want you to know that if it was up to me, I would have stayed. I would have stayed and continued to do a job that I've loved doing for I don't even know how many years. But yeah, it wasn't anything against you. It's not you. It's me. A goodbye would have been nice, but when you work for someone who's less mature than you are and they're in a place of authority, you can't expect them to make a mature, responsible decision like biting the bullet and being civil, regardless of what the circumstances may be. It just seemed like it made more sense to put me in a position where it tarnishes my legacy as an instructor, as a teacher, as someone who's grown fairly strong relationships with a number of families. Make it seem like this was an abrupt change that I made on my own behalf. Like I decided, just on a whim, today I'm just going to leave. And that wasn't the case. And I would never do that to the people that I've grown to care about, regardless of whether they're students, family of students, or outside of the school completely. I would never do that. I think everyone is entitled to an understanding when there's going to be a transitional change such as this coming up. And especially when it comes to working with children. All right? Children deserve to have a better understanding of when a drastic change takes place in their lives. I personally believe so. And you would think that someone who's a adult in a managerial position would understand that and not put their staff in a position to throw some kid into a brand new scenario just on a whim. But when the business is about money over the feelings and needs of people, this is what happens. If you feel that I abandoned you because that's the message that was conveyed to you after I was gone, I want you to understand that that was not the case. I wouldn't abandon my students. I never have. I never will. That's not how I roll. It's just not how I go. And, if you ever find yourself in a place in your life where you need to look back and ask questions of someone that if you find yourself in a place in your life where you're unsure of where you should go next and you're looking for advice, I want you to know that you can come to me. It's really nice to have the resource of someone that you have trust in to be able to fall back and seek their help out when you need it. I have college professors that I'm still in touch with, and I'll reach out to them on occasion and say, like, I got this thing going on, and I'm just like, I don't know how to address it. Like, how would you go about it? And their insight and their experience gives me a better understanding of what my next move should be in terms of executing a plan. So if you ever feel compelled to seek that sort of advice from me, just so you know, you can. As for the plan for me from here, I don't really have a plan. I didn't leave work with a game plan in mind. And I've always been that guy who's told my students, don't quit a job until you have another job to fall back on or to replace that job. And I still teach at the places that I teach at, and I still do private lessons. But in terms of full-time work, I don't have anything lined up yet. And the reason why I left when I did was because my emotional stability was to a point where I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice for myself, for the people around me, and this was the best option. When I realized that I'm no longer able to do a job well That's when I know that it's time for me to stop doing that job. Uh, and it. You would hope that most people would find that to be admirable. Being able to accept that it's time for you to move on to something different. That some people get that, other people don't, obviously. But if you saw me at the school, if you saw the environment that I was working within, you already know. It's it's still it's still just kind of setting in. It's all still just setting in that I am kind of being separated from these people that I've considered family for most cases many years. You know, students come and go. That just comes with the territory of being a teacher, a educator of any sort. You can't hold on to students forever. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna go out and they're gonna do their own thing and they're gonna take everything that you taught them and they're gonna put it into action. And that's the natural order of things. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, for every negative that I had working against me when it came to this job, the one positive force that kept me coming back into work was knowing that I got to see you guys and I got to work with you. And although this chapter of my life is over now, a new one's starting. Like I said, I've been approached by other music schools that have asked me about coming in and being a teacher in their facility, and I'm definitely considering it as an option. So it's something that will probably it'll be sort of a reincarnation of what I had, just in a new location with new students. But I want you all to know that you are significant portions of my life, of my experience as an educator, of the knowledge that I've learned along the way. You all have value, and I can't thank you enough for allowing me the opportunity to play a role in your progression. To the families, to the parents, to the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, everyone that's come to a show, shook my hand, said thank you, has brought me a card, has asked me how my kids are doing. Thank you all for just being wonderful people. And I'm going to hold on to these memories for the rest of my life. I appreciate you all a lot. And I'll be seeing you soon, more than likely. I'm not skipping town. Can't afford to. And I'll still be teaching privately, and wherever I may end up, I'll keep everyone posted. In the meantime, if you're interested in helping me out in supporting of the YouTube channel that I'm doing, trying to build up funds to put together some sort of music school of my own. I'm not sure what the game plan is from here. If you would like to try to support that, I have my Patreon page. You can put money towards that over there. And other than that, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything that you've brought me over the years. It's been really great, and I can't thank you guys enough. All right. Sorry I got sappy there for a minute. It's never going to happen again. Okay? Take it easy. He's got that one song. It's like, wop, bop, doo, bop, 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 to the booty. Oh, Rudy, to the booty. Oh, Rudy. Woo!